Welcome to the Digital Amateur Television Experimenters Night. This is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered. Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV Experimenters Nights. Do you realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world? Also participate in the night by coming up to the Queen's Domain club rooms. Yes, right on top of the Queen's Domain in the heritage-listed Coast Wireless Station. You never know, we might get you in front of the camera or behind doing one of the many roles during the night. We get underway with our program on a Wednesday night from 7:30pm local time. We'll see you soon. This is VK7 OTC.
Rid of that feedback.
This is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania, with our DATV Experimenters Night, and I have in the studio a regular co-presenter, Richard, VK7ZBX. Hello.
G'day.
How you going?
Happy Wednesday.
Woohoo!
Happy almost Christmas.
And almost Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
yes. Christmas Eve tomorrow. I don't quite believe that, but anyway.
Right.
Now, what we'll do is we'll remind people about our feedback. We can take feedback on Repeater 2. We can also, I have the chat channel, the YouTube chat channel up here for people who would like to call in on the YouTube chat channel. So please drop your comments. I'll just make sure that we are actually streaming out. Yes, we are. And it's telling me that it's public and it's live, so I think we're going out. So please, if you've got some comments in there. This is a Christmas themed DATV night. So, and I've got I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Kevin Norris VK7HKN Hotel Kilo Network November. Kevin is actually, I visited Kevin in the Royal Hobart Hospital this afternoon, and he has a very big Christmas Eve, I suppose you'd say.
Very big as it gets.
Correct. He's going in for a triple bypass and a valve replacement in his heart tomorrow. So he was getting all prepared for that, and he was having scans and all sorts of stuff. So Kevin, if you're we are well and truly thinking about you, and please get well soon. I'm sure you are in excellent hands at the Royal, and I got to go into the new Royal actually.
Wow.
And it's the first time I've actually been into K Block, so which is pretty impressive. Very, very impressive. So shout out to Kevin. Now, the reason I have Richard in the studio with me is Richard is a devotee. A devotee of the VHF UHF field days that happen every summer and spring.
And winter, in fact.
And winter. Yes. So I thought I'd get Richard in to give us a bit of a lowdown on what the field days are all about. So,
Well, really, the field days are all about Just dismantling your whole radio station, putting it in your car, taking it somewhere else, setting it up, realising you forgot half the stuff that you really need, doing the best you can, then sort of going home.
What, generators?
Roughly. Generators, microphones. However, since I started doing it, the first one that Murray and I did was pretty bad because we forgot microphones and patch cables. And
when was that? Just a matter of interest. How long ago was that?
Must be 3 years ago.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Okay.
So after we sort of got a bit active on some of the higher bands like 1296 and 2.4 and 3.4 and 10 gigs, we thought, well, look, we can use it as an excuse to get out and about.
Put in a pretty good show here.
So yeah, so the last couple of the Winterfield day, you should probably remember the classic picture of the orange ute in the snow. Very silly things up there in the snow, playing radio, and all the people driving past going, "What are you doing, mate?"
Yeah.
Playing ham radio in the snow, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but look, it's all good fun.
We're tough down here.
It's sort of good thing to sort of teach you a bit of planning. So you sort of have to hatch a bit of a plan.
Yep.
And
checklists.
And how to have lists and then have contingency plans and a whole bunch of other things.
Yep.
And you have to do little checks like make sure that the oil bung on the generator is done up tight so it doesn't vibrate loose and fall out. And
empty the oil.
Empty the oil and then shut the generator down in the midst of working truckloads of people on 6 metres. I think the pain may have worn off.
Oh, okay. It took a while, but yeah, it's worn off.
Yes, so you probably remember that one week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a summer field day.
And then all of a sudden you disappeared for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then I think I called up on 2 metres or something and you explained what the situation was.
So good old Rex came to the rescue and he actually ran his generator up.
Okay.
Which was really sort of pretty decent of him. And,
very nice.
But look, it's all about having a plan and trying to get as many people involved as you can.
Yes.
Now, obviously, it's nice to go portable, and you're a bit of a devotee of
a portable operation.
Look, it's good fun. Trying to sort of convince people to do it is often difficult because they probably heard all of our horror stories and go, "Oh, I'm not doing that."
But they can learn from these horror stories.
That's right.
They can learn.
But yeah, look, we're sort of just trying to get everybody to try and participate, just to take a little bit of time out of the time over the 15th and 16th. We're going to try and primarily, function a lot on FM.
FM, yeah.
For this field day, so that people that have got, maybe a mobile rig in their car, like a dual band rig in their car, can maybe go out and listen on channel 50 and 439 and maybe give a few numbers out.
Yeah.
In fact, they could use it as a bit of an excuse, for want of a better word, to maybe grab a picnic, go somewhere that they don't normally go.
And also for 2 and 70, our foundation licensees, they can operate on handheld if they really want to.
That's right. And look, if you go somewhere, like we're sort of planning to be, probably somewhere like Mount Wellington or Mount Rumney or a few other places that it's got a pretty good vantage point
to see everywhere. Yep.
So look, we would encourage sort of new people, and even people that maybe have had their licence for many years that maybe don't sort of come on. Look, we've had 23, we've had 24 and 23.
Lovely.
So if we could get all of those 23 people to give us a contact
during that weekend.
Like we're going to do the 8-hour one because
okay.
I think that's long enough on Mount Wellington.
Yep.
So that's every. I'd have to check. I think it's every 3 hours.
Okay.
So that constitutes, working us twice.
Yeah.
So if all the 23 people on 23 worked us twice, then that would be a pretty formidable score.
Well and truly. Now you talk about an 8-hour. There's obviously some different.
There is. There's two sort of different parts to it, or different classes or different modes of the contest.
Okay.
So the one we normally do is the 8-hour one. So
Yep.
that's any 8-hour period between 0100 UTC and 0100 UTC.
Yep.
There's also a 24-hour period, which obviously is the full 24-hour, and you can do, I believe you can do portable. So you can obviously be fully portable.
Okay.
You can operate from home. There's a
home Home station.
Just trying to think of the wording, but there's a home station.
Yep.
And there's also you can be a rover, so you can basically set up in one grid square.
Yep.
And then work a few people, and then you can go to another grid square.
Okay.
So it's called a rover. I'm not 100% sure what the advantage point-wise is for being a rover. I don't think there is any, other than you can probably work the same person from a different grid square.
Ah, yeah, you wouldn't have to wait the
3 hours.
The 3 hours, well and truly.
But I'm not 100% sure on that. But look, I think it's one of those things that if there's lots of opportunities and lots of different things you can do, then it makes it all worthwhile.
And in fact, if you're lucky enough to have a location where you're at the apex of 4 grid squares, you can just literally move to 4 locations.
I think Murray was the rover last year. I think
he was. He was. Yeah.
But no, look, I think it's good, and obviously the best way to keep your log is to use one of the logging programs. And look, I used to use the VK5DJ logging software for the RD contest sort of many years ago.
Yep.
And it was good. It was great. It was.
Yeah.
And then someone showed me VKCL for a field day, and I'm not sure then if the VK5DJ software did the field day.
No, I don't think it does.
I think he might now.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but VKCL is really good.
He's fantastic.
Although there was one feature that would be really nice to have,
which is,
if the authors happens to be listening, is that if you're able to have, especially for the RD contest, a list of the call signs that you're due to work, because basically it does come up in a little window to say, basically you can't work this person for another so many minutes.
Yep. And it counts down.
But then once that time has elapsed, that call sign disappears.
Yeah.
So it would be really, really cool to have
positive times.
Yeah, basically here are the people that you've worked and that you're able to work. So then you can sort of in the wee small hours of the night or whatever, you can actually go, oh, gee, I haven't heard Justin around for a while, And
I'm going to text them.
Yeah.
And wake them up. No.
Good idea. But other than that, it's really fantastic. Hayden and I used it when we operated the club station last year, and we actually had it networked. Ran it between 2 laptops, and it worked really well.
I didn't know you could do that with VKCL.
Yeah, so because you could, you obviously weren't on the same band at the same time.
And
it kept the same line, it kept track of the points and who you'd worked, and
I love it.
It's really, really good.
Okay. Now, you mentioned grid squares there. So this is a distance-based contest?
It is.
Okay.
So there's a weighting score based on the number of kilometres.
Okay.
And depending on the frequency.
Yep.
I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I think 6 metres is 1 point per kilometre up to a certain figure. And it might be 2,000 kilometres.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And then there's a progressively higher weighting factor.
Yep.
All the way up to
10.
24 gigs even.
Sorry, 10 points.
Actually, I think
10 points.
10 points, yeah, that's right. Now, obviously, the VKCL does the cleverness, and if you put your grid square in, I think it does the reference from your 6-digit maidenhead code. I think it works out the distance based on the centre of your maidenhead to the centre of the other one. So that's all sort of nice and good. And look, it does everything. So that it's good to be able to try and work, especially for the summer field day. If 6 metres opens,
that's where you get your points.
You can just smash a heap of points.
Well and truly.
And if you have some really good, maybe some ease or tropo on 2 metres maybe, it would be
even better. No, so cool. Now frequencies, we've got some sort of standard frequencies that we operate on. It's probably good to give a bit of a reminder.
Look, we have. I think probably again FM. I think we're going to try and have a good listening watch on FM this year, because most people have got for 6 metres 52.525. Tons of people have got the old AWA,
RT85, Crystal,
and that sort of thing. And look, and that's all you need if you've got
like
some of the antenna Murray used in the RD wasn't a 6 metre antenna, but it worked very, very well. So So we're going to sort of concentrate on FM. So there'll be 52.525 for 6 metres.
Okay.
146.500.
Yep.
Sort of channel 50 for 2 metres.
Yep.
439
Flat.
for 70 centimetres, which is I'm pretty sure I can remember. It wasn't that long ago that 435 used to be the sort of FM frequency, but I think that's obviously now in the middle of the satellite sub-band.
Correct. I think that might have been a band plan change, actually.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but of course, it makes it a bit tricky when you build antennas that are cut for 432.1, and then you've got to go to 439.
Yeah, that's a bit too far away for those
Most
antennas.
of the time, you end up with a very high SWR. But 439 on 70 centimetres, and
Yep.
of course 1296 150
Yep.
on 23 centimetres. And look, once we get above that, because there's such a small number of people,
Yep.
it's not that big a deal to work. In fact, I think last time you and I worked on 3.4,
Yeah.
I think it was on FM.
No, wouldn't have been 3.4. It didn't have 3.4.
Oh, not your. Oh, okay. No, it must have been 10.
Must have been 10.
Yep.
No, it was 10.
Because
So it
FM's
was-
sort of
yeah.
nice, but look, if people want to use SSB, then we can sort of obviously sort of do a skid. You know,
Well,
so
sure.
we might have only a 6 metre sideband radio, then an
Or a-
502 or something.
Or an antenna that's giving you grief up at 439.
Yes. So, probably the biggest disadvantage or the biggest problem with us being on Mount Wellington is that we have the luxury and also the downside that when you're on the mountain, you can hear
Oh,
all of the chit chat in Hobart and all the chit chat in Launceston.
correct.
So you can call people and sort of, I think we're going to try and liaise a bit with the northern guys and
Okay.
maybe have another channel for north-south communication so that we're not sort of standing all over the people that can only hear one side of the
Yeah,
conversation.
and that's actually a good idea. That's a bit of coordination. I think is probably what works here, and certainly has worked in the past.
Yep.
Well and truly, that's been fantastic.
I think the first few we've sort of got a bit excited and just want to get on and just work lots of people, and then I think people that have maybe got a bit of a casual interest have listened, and then people have sort of disappeared off to 10 gigs or whatever, and people have gone,
They're gone.
they've gone. So
Yeah.
So I think now we need to sort of try and
Yep.
spend the majority of our time on 2 metres and 70 centimetres.
And even I don't think we go to this sort of level, but even give people sort of maybe indicative times about when you're going to be on.
That's a good idea. On the hour or on the quarter hour or
well and
something.
truly,
Yeah.
well and truly, and yeah, go from there. Because if you're only operating the 8 hours, that's you want to be a little bit coordinated in the timing side.
Look, that's right, and I think you really only get your 2. I can't remember if it's 2 hours or 3 hours. Yeah, it's a bit sad. Sorry, but
Hang on, keep talking. I'll look it up.
but yeah. So if we can have it so that if it starts at A100 UTC, which will be like 12 o'clock,
Yeah, I've got a PC in front of me. Keep talking.
we can basically say to people, okay, contest starts, work a heap of people, then sort of go away and do some things, and then 2 hours later or 3 hours later come back and work some people again.
Well and truly.
Then if we do it in another 3 hours, then that's probably constitutes the end of the contest, because unless there's a few stragglers that that you haven't worked.
Spring is here. Oh, please. That's Roger.
Oh dear. Yeah. A Heedle Tuesday.
Files for download section. Okay.
But look, I think we've had some pretty reasonable antenna setups up there. Like we've been able to work. And I think Hayden, the last summer field day, I think we were up there in amongst the higher scores.
You were, well and truly.
So yeah, but we got pipped by these dudes that have 47 gigs and 76 gigs and 122 gigs, and
Correct.
we didn't have those. Divisions was the word I was.
Divisions, that's it. The 8 or
I was
12
looking
hour,
for, yeah.
8 or 24 hour division.
Yep.
So, okay, yeah.
But no, look, I think it's a good opportunity to. And normally the weather's pretty good, and
Yeah.
you can sort of chat to some people. And look, I think it's
2 hours.
it's all a bit of a challenge. It is 2 hours. Okay.
It's 2 hours.
Yeah. So the contest starts sort of 2 hours, and you can work again.
So in 8 hours,
Yeah.
potentially you can work, if you're really coordinated 4 times, but
Yeah.
that's really coordinated,
Yeah.
at least 3 times.
At least 3 times. Yeah.
So,
And I think it ends up being sort of from 12 p.m. till 8 p.m. And
Yep.
I think by the time 8 p.m. rolls around, even in the summertime, we'd be fairly keen to get off the mountain.
Correct. Yeah.
But that's the distance scoring. So 6 metres is one point.
1.7 multiplier.
Yeah, so
1
1 point
point.
per kilometre up to 700 kilometres, then 1 point per 100 kilometres or part thereof after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And the thing about that is VKCL calculates your grid square and applies that
Yes.
multiplier.
Yeah.
So you don't
Don't need to think about any of that. It just happens.
No.
Yep.
But and all the way up, as soon as you get to 1296, the multiplier is 3.7, and it's 1 point per kilometre.
Yeah. So if you work, Peter, in Launceston, I think it was 163 kilometres, you know?
Yeah.
So 163 times 3.7 gives you a nice sort of score for one contact.
Well, true. And if you were able to work him on 24 gigs, it's 10 as a multiplier of 10.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, that's
Well, 7.4 is the multiplier on 10 gigs, and we've worked him really quite well on 10 gigs. So
good score. Well and truly, an easy score. So, good
but
stuff.
look, you know, it's sort of a bit weather based too. Like it's sort of hard to encourage people to sort of go out in the rain and the snow and stuff. But often the
it's not right.
often the no. It must be ooh.
Oh no, actually, hang on. This is the
That's the one for last year.
This is the spring. This is the spring rules.
Okay, not
hang
summer.
on. So that's the spring. Yeah. Summer.
Only the dates and
The 20. Here we go. The summer. Yeah. A bit of poetry from Roger there to start off with.
yes.
Well,
that's the other thing too. Is I should say there's another division which is just the 4-band section. So it's probably not a bad beginning point for someone that maybe is a bit new.
Yep.
That doesn't have to worry about 10 gig gear and all sorts of stuff. If they just want to use, like for 3 of those bands, if you had one of those the ASU 8900 quad band things, sort of 62 and 70 in the one box, you could work sort of lots of people. And,
nice.
And there's a particular category for that, so that's an option.
So single band or 4-band subsections. Yeah. Now VKCL also has the contest radar built into it as well.
Yes.
So if you configure VKCL so that it will actually use that,
and you have internet obviously access at your site,
the location, well and truly. So what the contest radar basically gives is the ability for others to see you making contacts and where you are on the grid square.
Yeah.
So and it's very handy because it also gives things like heading.
Yep.
So you point your beam at you see Richard's just made a contact from QE37 whatever it is, and you can point your beam in that direction and see whether you can make a contact.
Yeah. No, look, it's and again it lets people know that there are other people on these bands and sort of working some things. So
yeah. So that's excellent, and that hasn't changed.
That's good.
So,
and I think even in sort of downtown Hobart, I think 2 hours is good because by the time you work a few people and then maybe sort of fix some of your cock-ups in your log, and that's probably something that's worth mentioning.
Yes, definitely.
Please double check, triple check everything you put into the logging program, because many people have lost many points, Justin, through simple human errors of
typographical errors,
wrong call sign, and look, even wrong signal reports. I think,
or grid squares.
The luxury of having such clever machines working for us is they'll also stitch us up in a heartbeat. Ooh, you gave me 5 and 9, but you only wrote down 5 and 1. Why is that? But look, certainly call signs are very important. Frequencies, modes are sort of pretty, hands up those that haven't sort of worked the first few mad contacts of like an RD or whatever, and then gone, bugger!
Damn it!
SSB. 1 moment. Someone's calling you, you're like, I can't talk to you right now.
Yeah, just give us a moment.
Just making some minor technical adjustments.
It's all too familiar.
So please, if you use the software, just confirm with the station
the details.
the details here, call sign, mode, and even the time. Just make sure that you haven't had a moment that your time's wrong.
Well, and just saying that on the time, there is a threshold that they will accept a difference in time between what the two stations have logged. But I have been in a situation where I've put in everything perfectly right, and I haven't hit the save button.
Yeah.
Now, when you hit the save button,
That's when it logs it.
that's the time that it logs.
Yep.
So if you're, doing a bit of ragchew or whatever else, they've actually hit the save button on their end, but you haven't, and it's outside that threshold. It will come up with an error and go, no, I'm not going to give you those points because the times don't match.
I'm not sure what it is, but I think if you make a conscious decision that's like, let's get all these details right.
Correct.
And probably in VKCL, the one I've been caught out in the most is the mode.
Yeah.
If you're going between FM and SSB.
Okay. And the thing about VKCL also is you can at any stage go in and edit that line.
Yep.
And in fact, you can also, even if you suddenly find your computer locks up or whatever and you start going to a manual log, you can then go into what's called
manual entry.
Manual entry,
post-contest.
post-contest manual entry mode.
Yep.
So that's where if you've got a paper log and you want to actually make it an electronic log, that's the mode you actually use. So a very versatile little.
And even of course, if you've got a radio that'll do cat control, you can use OmniRig, and then you never get that bit wrong.
Correct. Correct.
But if you've got multiple radios and transverters and stuff, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. Thank you, Richard.
All right. Cool.
Now, what I might do is I'll get you to tell if you're up to it, or you even know, you may not know, what you think Santa might be bringing you for Christmas.
Well, I haven't actually made any requests.
What's going on? It's nearly Christmas Eve.
No, look, there's been some talk. We've been trying to get a bit of an increase in some people around the VK7 area or around the Hobart area that have got some microwave stuff. So we're trying to get another couple of guys are very close to doing some 10 gig.
Excellent.
Plonking down and buying some 10 gig gear.
Excellent.
I did toy with the idea of a 705, but no. Look, they're really nice. I was really impressed with Hayden's. But,
lovely.
But no, look, I haven't really, actually got any requests in, which is very sad. Sorry, I'm letting the team down a little bit.
I can hear. I can hear you.
Man, you should have a list. And it should be sorted, highest to lowest.
I can hear Ali going, yes.
Oh, well, look, it'd be nice to. I'm actually going to build another version of the tracker, which uses
the touchscreen.
Yeah, the VK4GHZ Nexion
nice.
touchscreen.
Very nice.
Which is so cool. He's just released another video.
Very nice.
But no, so nothing really on that. But wife in it said that she's found something that she said may be a surprise this year. So
okay,
this could be impressive. Like it.
Wow.
Could be a 7-pack of undies, I suppose. I don't know.
Jocks and socks.
Don't know.
You need jocks and socks. Don't get me wrong. You need jocks and socks.
But no. So unfortunately, but look, I'm sort of pretty happy with sort of the stuff I've got. I probably don't spend enough time playing with the stuff that I've got. So I know it's keep that sort of talk to a minimum, but.
He says, and we've just recorded it. Okay, well that's fantastic, Richard. may all your presents be the ones you want. Yes.
Indeed. Oh, look, I'd like to sort of take the opportunity to sort of wish everybody out there for Merry Christmas from me, and I think we've as a bit of a radio club, I think we've kicked a few goals and achieved a few things. And
correct. I think
had a bit of fun. Yeah.
Okay this year, given the year, and we're certainly in a good place going into 2021. So
yeah.
So it's very, very good. So
Oh, cool.
Good stuff. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Richard. And we'll you can stick around if you really want to. You can. Now, what I was going to do was I came across, and there probably is some people out there who would probably know a little bit of what this is. This is a American Radio Relay League ARRL Lightning Calculator, and the only thing I've got on here that has any indication of a date is actually the copyright, which is under copyright 1932 to a chap, the ARRL Lightning Calculator. And I was just the interesting thing is I showed this to Rex Moncoeur VK7HKN, and he said when he was with the Bureau of Meteorology, they used these for lots and lots of things because, of course, they didn't have computers, and especially didn't have
pocket calculators.
Well, correct, and internet connected devices and whatever else. So he said they used to use these sort of things for all sorts of things in the bureau. So what I will do, just bear with me, and I will. Oh, that was bad, wasn't it? That was a terrible change. That was a snap change. So apologies for that. So here we go. This is the ARRL Lightning Calculator, and you can see there's a whole lot of scales on here. We've got wavelength. We've got frequency around this outside. We've got in the red here, we've got capacity in, I love this, microfarads. So okay, that's all right. We've got inductance in microhenries on the scale underneath that, and also another inductance in microhenries just below that as well, and a whole lot of inches per turn, enamelled or single silk covered wire, double silk covered wire, etc, etc, etc. So how the hell do you use this? And I'm going to zoom in here so that you can actually see what I'm doing here, and we'll go the other way, Justin. There we go. So the easiest thing to do here is the wavelength and frequency conversion, and the little gradical here, if we put it on, what can we put it on? 14 megahertz. So there's there's 14 megahertz. So there's 14 megahertz. We've got it on here. If you zoom down here to the wavelength in meters, guess what? Just above 20 meters. So this just enables you to do that wavelength to frequency and frequency to wavelength conversion on the calculator here. So now the next thing is it gives you, and this is probably where it's quite, I find it quite, this is actually taking it to the next level. If you've got a frequency and you've got either an inductor or a capacitor, and you want to actually find out what the other component is to make it resonant at that frequency, this is where you can you put now let me get this right. We go round here. Say we've got hang on, I've got to turn this. We've got a frequency of, hang on, frequency of, what's a good frequency? There's 2 megs. So over here on the F, we put frequency on 2, hang on, that's 2 kilocycles. Okay, let's just...
Where's 80 metres? Just a bit further around.
Just there, well, we'll put it on 80 metres. There we go, 3.5. 3.5. 3,500 kilocycles. So, okay, we put that on the F. If we move our gradical around, actually we don't need to move our gradical around on this one, because we can then read off on here the
We're out of shot though.
Oh, we're out of shot. Hang on. Let me go down a step and I'll zoom in a bit here. If we go down here, and you'll notice we can basically read off these combinations. So now, capacity in microfarads. Now, micro is 10 to the minus 6. Micro is 10 to the minus 12. So we're talking picofarads.
VKCL.
That's so just for a bit of a conversion. So at 20 picofarads, if we have an inductance of 100 microhenries, so this bottom scale's in microhenries, then we have a resonant frequency around 3.5 megahertz. And the thing about the nice thing about this is these are the combinations. So as you go up in obviously capacity in the capacitor value, you're coming down in the inductance value.
Yep.
And vice versa. So now the other thing that is really nice about this is if you've got a variable capacitor, this is fascinating. If you've got a variable capacitor, what you can actually do is, and the variable capacitor, say you've got an inductor of 100 microhenries, and you've got a variable capacitor that is giving you, say, 20, one that goes from, say, 20 to 100 picofarads. So it's a variable, that's a pretty standard variable capacitor, goes from 20 picofarads to 100. What you can actually do here is, at 120, so we'll move this around here so that we keep that on there, and we're at about the 3.5, which is where we were, megahertz. If I then take that up to 100 picofarads with 100 microhenries, we go down in frequency down to about 1.5 megs. So that variable capacitor will give us somewhere between 3.5 and 1.5 megs.
So it'll indicate your resonant.
That you can actually control with the variable capacitor. So that's how the calculator is used. And Ready Reckoner, it's really simple to use. You can then go on and say these outer scales basically give you the ability to put in the number of microhenries and then the number of turns per inch that you actually want. You can put that in, and whether it's double or single covered copper wire, or it's just enamel copper wire, and then the diameter of the coil in inches is up here. So it gives you the ability to calculate how many turns of the particular type of wire on the diameter former that you've got to give you the amount of inductance that you're actually looking for.
Wow!
All in a neat little calculator, and they even give you on the outside. I thought this was good. Inches on this side and centimetres on that side. So all in a very nice little calculator, and all the instructions on how to use it are on the back, and it costs the princely sum of $1.50 postpaid.
Wow!
So anyway, that's I just thought I would show you the that was a bit of a better cross, wasn't it? Yeah. Nice smooth one.
Keep practicing.
Yeah, I'll keep that. But anyway, that was I actually found this in all my old man's bits and pieces, and came across it on the weekend. I was cleaning up a whole lot of stuff, and I went, oh, okay. And I sat down and worked out how to use it, and I went, this is actually not a bad little tool for the toolkit. So there you go.
Indeed.
Now, can I just say a huge congratulations. Reg and I got the notification for the last 6 foundation licensees who went through their assessment at the end of November. And they all passed.
Wow, that's excellent.
All 6 passed. So
great stuff.
A very nice Christmas present. So congratulations to all those people who.
I'm sure they have a long list of things for Saturday.
Well and truly. And we did use the 705 as the rig that they were using as part of their practical. So they probably got the 705 on the list, if nothing else. So, yes.
But if you had a 705 or a 9700 or a 7300, good to watch that video of Hayden's where he adjusts the waterfall parameters.
Here.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So.
And can I just say, makes a huge difference from the visibility point of view. But can I just say the visibility point of view when you are outdoors?
Yep.
Because the standard blue and white, which it defaults to when you buy it, that standard blue and white you cannot see when there is a bit of sun.
And also too, you need to. I've been playing with it a bit lately. You need to spend a bit of time changing the reference level.
Yep.
Depending on, if you use it with transverters and you've got different input levels and stuff, you do need to change it and
You
sort
do. of
be on it. But once you've made those few changes, it just makes it
comes alive.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, it truly comes alive. Very nice little rig, and I'm sure keep your eye on Ham Radio DX. And actually, I can do a bit of a plug here for Hayden. He'll probably say, "Why haven't you put it on the car yet?"
Yeah, that's where mine's on the car.
Ham Radio DX, very nice little vinyl sticker that's going on the van. So very nice. HamRadioDX.net. So a bit of a plug for the Ham Radio DX channel for Hayden. Hayden had these printed for the field day. For the
yes,
open,
we've got t-shirts.
T-shirts.
T-shirts. Yeah.
Oh, okay, full on.
So I think that's done through the VK Connect. Is it?
Oh, okay.
Is that the right way?
Pass next.
VK Connect or Connect VK? The new retailer, the new guy in.
Oh, the new ham store.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. There's a bit of competition coming into the market. I love it.
That's right. Fancy stripping the price and price matching to try and sell ham radio gear.
Oh my goodness.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Things are looking up in Australia. Very good. Thank you, Richard. Now, our videos for tonight, of course, are themed Christmas videos. A ham radio Christmas themed night wouldn't be complete without the Hams 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which we actually played last week as well, and I'll admit that. But
for those of you who missed it,
exactly. That's very good, Richard. So the main video for tonight is actually AmateurLogic.tv, who celebrated being on air, I think, for 15 years, not that long ago. And I don't know how many AmateurLogic.tv episodes they have actually done, but it must be an awful lot. Great crew that does AmateurLogic.tv, and it's their 2020. I've got that wrong on there. That's 2002 Christmas special. It's their 2020 Christmas special, which only came out a couple of days ago. So I thought I would grab that and. We would show a little Christmas episode. They do go into also for our D-Star and our DMR aficionados and our hotspot people. They do show the Pi-Star hotspot and go through a few of the features on the Pi-Star hotspots. So if you have one of those particular hotspots, which I do, I certainly learned a few things from that particular segment. So very good indeed. So a huge final thank you to everyone who's been involved in the club for 2020. It has been a very challenging year, and I think we're almost through it. So and the way that we got through it was because everybody involved with the club have been working really hard to actually make the club a better place and a better club. So I just have to put the thank you out to everyone who's out there and done things for the club or is doing things for the club. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on out in the other room right at the moment. around components and all sorts of stuff. So, and a shout out to all those who are next door enjoying a bit of Christmas cheer. So yeah. So I'll just put the call out on R2. And this is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tas, with our DATV experimenters night. Just putting the call out for any comments or questions. Oh, I don't know whether Ron's there or not. He may be off at a Christmas do, I reckon. Oh, God blimey, sorry about that. Everyone just deafened. VK7OTC, just putting the call out for any comments or questions for our DATV experimenters night Christmas edition.
Everyone's still compressor.
Just kicked in, I hope, quickly. No? Okay, nothing heard. That's all right. And I haven't got any comments on the chat channel, but I just have this horrible feeling that whether we went out or we didn't go out, we will get this right eventually. No, it's public. We did get out. We did go out. We did go out. So,
This is live.
okay, that's all right. We'll get this right eventually. And the one concurrent view is me. I did see that go up to 2 though, so we think we're there. But anyway, enough of that. We'll head off to our videos and we'll head next door for a bit of Christmas cheer. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Justin.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to yourself.
Cool. Cheers.
Thanks.